thinking over the last 13 years. Excuse me, teacher? I have a question. Talk to me after class. So hi. About that question? No. Okay. I was wondering how... No, you weren't. Actually, I wasn't wondering how. Wait. Why isn't the answer x plus 4 times x minus 5 when factoring x squared plus x minus 20? Never mind. I guess looking back on my experiences, I didn't really have good math teachers until high school. I had a great math teacher freshman year, and it's just increasingly gotten better. Math isn't the easiest subject for me, but it's the subject that I find to love the most, so it makes it easy to work through everything that I struggle with, whether it be FOIL when I was back in middle school, or let it be calc now. I love learning it, and I really do like figuring it out, but I think I found myself struggling the most was probably when I was in Mathletics back in 6th grade. I came from an elementary school that didn't really teach math, maybe a little bit. I kind of probed the teachers to teach math when it was math time. I just loved it so much, but I was the one back in elementary school who was trying to make the teachers teach math. They didn't quite as much have a passion for it as I do. But in middle school I was able to find others who had the same math passion that I did. So I was in Mathletics, and it was just a really fun experience for me because I was able to socialize, I was able to have fun while learning math and learning new and advanced topics that a lot of the other classes didn't get to learn, which later on ended up helping me. So that was always really fun, but I struggled a lot with that. But I didn't see it too much as a struggle because I got to struggle with my friends, and so we got to figure it out all together. So that was really fun. So 5th grade, I had at the school, one of the hardest teachers, supposedly. I loved him. He was the best teacher because, he asked a lot of us and expected a lot of us, and I don't know, I liked it, and he really did love math, and he really did care about us, and it was really nice. But a lot of the other students kind of strayed away from his rigorous math program that he tried to creating. So because I love math and he loved math so much, we just kind of bonded over our geeky love of math. And so that was really fun and really nice, and we were able just to kind of talk about it, and I don't know, it was a good connection. So I think that was one of the pathways that led me kind of towards the math department a little bit, not exactly, but a little bit. It was a little inspirational to find others who can geek out about math just like I did. And then in 6th grade, Mrs. Jessup, she was so awesome. She was also a really rigorous teacher. And so I was put in the so-called high math program, or the honors math program at the time. And I just loved being able to be put into an honors math program because I was able to learn faster, I guess, and be with the more math oriented people. So that was really fun. So I got to be with more nerds and geeks, and Mrs. Jessup herself was an amazing teacher. She was really rigorous too because she expected a lot from us also. She gave us finals and midterms, and this was 6th grade given, so that was really intense. So I don't know, I enjoyed it because I love math. I'm not necessarily good at math, but I loved it at the time. So, and that year I also joined Mathletics, so that was also another point of mine where I was able to really bond with Mrs. Jessup, and I ended up becoming her TA the next year. it was so great being able to just be with someone who's so passionate, someone who loved it, and it was just great. And then 7th grade, as you saw from my flashback clip, that was a reference to this teacher. Not gonna name her because can't say I have the best recommendations. She tried really hard, I think, with us. She didn't really have patience for 7th grade questions, so yeah, she didn't like answering questions. A lot of the situations kind of went like this. I was wondering how you got this answer from the test. Really? You can't figure this out yourself? Yeah. Yikes. So I ended up not learning quite as much as I wish I did because I had lots of gaps within the learning that year. 8th grade, okay, I just realized with my middle school experience, like, kind of went downhill with math teachers. So I'm not also gonna not name this teacher. She was a sweetheart and she was really nice, and she really loved the kids, which is so great, which you need in a teacher. You want someone who cares about you. But she was actually a science teacher. Like her background was more in science, not quite so much at math. So she was like going back on what we already kind of learned in like 6th grade. So I kind of lost a year in math that year. 9th grade, I had an awesome teacher who was able to answer questions and have like personal times for the students, and we were able to do the homework in class. So that was really helpful for me. And then I could have personal questions. I could just go up whenever we had like time to work in class with our homework and just ask questions there and then. It was really helpful. It was almost like private tutoring. That was coach. 10th grade, I had Mr. Lax. Really strict teacher, like one of the best math teachers for sure. Really strict with tests, which was really helpful to get me ready for like IB and getting me ready for becoming an upperclassman. So that was really helpful. We crunched a lot of material in that class. Like most of the material that I learned in that class helped me out junior year, because junior year a lot of it seemed to be a repeat of sophomore year. So that was, Mr. Lax was awesome with covering that and like making sure we had a really good basis with that. So I felt comfortable with a lot of the material then. And then junior year, Miss Buchanan, so brilliant. So I really did love her last year. She was an amazing teacher, so brilliant, so passionate, loved the kids. So that was just, I don't know, that just, when teachers are passionate and care about the subject and then care about the students, it helps a lot. And then present, you are my math teacher. So you're an awesome teacher. Definitely one of the like best math teachers for sure that I've ever had, and definitely top 3 like teachers I've ever had. So keep up the good work. The best time that I learned math, so either 6th grade or 10th grade for sure. Both of those teachers were really helpful and really rigorous. I learned best under very structured environments, and that's what they provided. So I probably learned the best then. Honestly, most of my past experiences have made me into the same nerdy mathematician as I used to be. But maybe now I know a little bit more. Writing down every step may no longer be necessary, but when it comes to calc, I definitely still do it. Keeps me very precise and organized when trying to demonstrate my thoughts, which might hopefully help me on the AP exam with my organization skills. I honestly, growing up, never really saw math being used too much, so I pretty much saw my math teachers doing math, and that was pretty much it. Mom was an English teacher, so very liberal arts oriented. So I didn't really grow up too much with math in the household or around me besides my homework. I didn't really know the application of math in the world around me. I just kind of assumed math, it went along with the sciences and you just kind of did it with the sciences, even though I was most likely going to focus on the sciences for later in life. AP Calc. I actually was really interested in taking AP Calc. I didn't think I could. Because I'm an IB student and usually there's a huge separation or whatever. Learning very little calc junior year, I thought it was so interesting and I just loved it immediately. It was so much more interesting than the rest of the maths and that we had to know for SL. I just fell in love with it. Like, it was just something I knew and I loved. So being able to take this class was just, I don't know, I took it because I wanted to further that love in it and just almost specialize in the class in calc rather than just learning a bunch of different materials and knowing a little bit of each different topic, I guess. How's it going? I hope it's going well. I hope AB Calc is going well. I'm learning a lot in class and every single day I can say I learned something, which is rare, which is really rare nowadays. It's really hard for me to say that. Most of my classes I can't say that. We learned so much more in this class, and I put a lot of time and effort into this class. It's always my top priority over every other class. I want to do well for me. I want to do well for you. I want to do well on the test. I want to do well, and especially in this class. Coming from IB, I was expecting to teach it myself, and I was really scared, and I was afraid that I was just gonna have to teach it all myself, and I was terrified. That was scary. That was gonna be really scary, but I'm so glad I don't, and I'm so glad you're so passionate and you make teaching interesting and you do all these really fun games, which really help me because I'm really competitive. So I'm gonna learn the material no matter what, but when we do the games and competitive groups and stuff, that really ensures that I'm gonna know what I'm doing because I'm really competitive. I just love that we also can do group activities too. Sometimes I'll get to helping other students really helps me because it secures what I think, what I already know, but I don't really have confidence that I know it. So being able to teach or help someone else enables me to really have confidence in what I know, and I don't know, it just helps me out and helps other people out. So I don't know. I didn't expect going in to be able to have that opportunity to work with others. And hopefully tests and quizzes are going okay. I'd like to do better on them, honestly. I study a lot, I do. I'd like to do better, but I've honestly gotten so much out of the class already. Somehow to hope even more that I get out of it. I hope to get college credit. Would love to get my IB diploma. Though honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter. So, which the IB people will probably end up killing me for saying that. But I hope to accomplish that. You've already done a great job preparing me for everything that life has got to throw at me. You've got me ready for talking to professors, asking, initiating contact and asking questions. You've already got me doing that. Yeah, this class has already prepared me so much, so thank you. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself here. Oh, Mr. Bowles knows that. So I'm going to cut that out. So, most of my past experiences love staying with, okay. Hopefully and then by the end of high school, I'll have a little more confidence, okay. Hey, Mirabelle, stop. Thank you. Is that Mom? Yay! Flashback me! Yikes. Oh, that wasn't the question. And how this class can prepare you for that. Oh, well, I kind of answered that. Yeah. Now that I'm older and I know that you can make a profession off of being a math nerd and geek, which is lovely, engineering sounds pretty... Oh, I don't want to give that away yet. He knows that. No, he doesn't. Crap.